All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to break down how a platform that started as a cultural bridge transformed into an absolute media powerhouse. We're using We the Italians and their incredible 2025 as a case study, and honestly, it's a masterclass in modern community building and media strategy. So, let's dive in.
And this quote, wow, it really says it all, doesn't it? This was their 10th anniversary motto. 2 flags, 1 heart, 10 years. In just a few words, you get the whole mission, connecting Italy and America, all driven by passion, for a solid decade. It's the perfect place to start.
So, the big question is, how did they pull off such a huge year of growth? Well, it all kicked off with their foundation, the magazine. But they didn't just, add a few articles here and there. No, this was a strategic explosion of content, a really smart plan to dig into the Italian experience from every possible angle. The first part of that plan was all about getting back to their roots, their heritage. And what's so cool is how they went way deeper than just, hey, we're Italian. They rolled out columns like Italian territories, which is fascinating because it explores these subregions that, for many locals, are way more important than the 20 official ones. Then they brought back Italian traditions, telling these amazing stories of ancient festivals and legends. We're talking about culture passed down for generations. But here's the thing. It wasn't all about looking back. The second part of their strategy was a huge celebration of modern Italy. Italian innovation put a spotlight on the country's super brilliant, inventive side. And then you have Italian industrial districts, which, sounds a bit academic, but it's actually about this amazing economic setup where specialized companies all cluster together in one area, creating these incredibly powerful centers of industry. And of course, you can't talk about Italy without talking about the good life, right? That was their third strategic push. They added Italian street food to celebrate all those delicious regional specialties, and they brought back Italian entertainment to cover everything from movies to music to theater. It's about capturing the whole vibrant flavor of Italian life. This whole expansion really painted a complete modern picture of Italy today. They added a column on the economy, giving real analysis of what's happening now, another on sustainability, showing what Italy's doing for a greener planet. And this is so important, they gave a voice to expats with My Life in Italy, sharing these really personal stories from people who moved back to reconnect with their roots. Okay, so the magazine is absolutely booming with all this new, richer content. What's the next logical step? You got to take that voice and give it, well, a voice. In 2025, We the Italians made a huge leap from just the written word to the spoken word, launching a whole new multimedia strategy. And they were so smart about this. They didn't just launch one podcast, they launched 2. And each one had a super clear purpose and audience. And get this, both were available in audio and video. So on one side, you have Italy in English, which is for a global audience, keeping everyone up to date on what's going on inside Italy. Then on the other side, you have L'Italian in America, the first of its kind delivered in Italian for Italian speakers in the US, connecting them directly with news from their own communities. Now, this is where the whole strategy gets really, really powerful. Creating more content is one thing, but the next move was to change their audience from just being passive consumers, people who just read or listen, into active participants. They wanted to give them a real voice, to make them actors in the story. So how did they do it? They made it official. They co-founded a new nonprofit, the Italia America Reputation Lab, or IARL. This basically gave them a formal tool to create projects focused on the community and make that bridge between the two countries even stronger. And one of the very first things the IRL did was launch surveys. The first one, 2 Passports, 1 Heart, tackled a really hot-button issue about dual citizenship laws. And the results were striking. Nearly 2/3 of their community were against the new changes. This was a huge moment. For the first time, they could actually put a number on what their community thought, giving them a single, powerful voice on something that really mattered. And if you thought that first result was strong, wow, the next one was an absolute earthquake. They asked if Columbus Day should stay a federal holiday. The response? A massive 90.4% said yes. This just shows you the incredible power of this new tool they had built. They could capture and amplify the community's voice on really sensitive topics. But this engagement wasn't just online, not by a long shot. They were on the ground partnering with major Italian groups on events, mentoring the next generation of Italian-American leaders, celebrating huge 50th anniversaries with organizations like NIAF. The list goes on. And they backed all of this up with a brand new, faster website to better serve this super active community. Okay, so we've seen the whole strategy. Better content, new podcasts, deep community engagement. But did it actually work? Well, let's look at the numbers from their 10th anniversary year, because they tell a pretty incredible story. First off, just the sheer volume of content is staggering. In just 1 year, they promoted over 6,000 news stories. That's more than 16 stories every single day. Think about that pace for a second. It's just relentless. And they made sure people saw that content. In 2025, they sent out over 1.1 million newsletters. This isn't just, posting something and hoping people see it. This is a direct line into their audience's inboxes. A massive level of daily communication, keeping everyone in the loop. But honestly, this next number is the one that just blows my mind. Their views on Facebook went from 8 million the previous year to over 32 million in 2025. That's not just a little bit of growth, they quadrupled their reach, 4 times bigger in just 1 year. That is absolutely wild and proves the new strategy was a home run. And all that community engagement really paid off. Take their annual Italian American of the Year poll. The community voted and crowned the amazing author Adriana Trigiani the winner, with almost a third of the votes. She even beat out absolute legends like Martin Scorsese. So the key takeaway here is the community wasn't just listening anymore. They were actively participating and making their voice heard. So after a decade of hard work, after a year of just explosive growth that would be the peak for almost anyone else, what did they say? We are only at the beginning. That just tells you everything you need to know about their mindset and their ambition for the future. And that really leaves us with a big question, doesn't it? The story of We the Italians is more than just a media success story. It's really a blueprint for how communities, especially those spread across the world, can use today's tools to build stronger bonds. It makes you ask, in a world that's more connected than ever, is this the future of how we define and hang on to our cultural identity? Something to think about.